While discussing the framing of this photo, we could tell what the frame includes. What makes up the edges is what we have here is canyon walls, followed by some river water. And then on the foreground, we have the riverbank, which we can see dirt and rocks basically right here making up the edges. And then also on the other side, just like the right side, we have a little bit of water with some more canyon and then sky. And the way this is framed, we are left to wonder how much more canyon wall there is actually on both sides going horizontal and diagonally. Um, how big these are, we're actually left up to the imagination and where this river actually goes. There could be there's definitely more water left out, and more rocks and riverbed left out, and possibly other fishermen or people that are with this guy. And the framing helps energize the photo since we only see what seems to be a small part of a way bigger scene. Um, and this that we only get a small piece of this river and that we could tell it's kind of in motion. It adds energy because it almost gives an illusion of speed since we only get a very small part of this river in the frame. And the compositional organization to me can be described as, I believe the rule of third was used because it's not there's not like something that's a focal point in the middle. There's more of like balance between these canyons right here, this rock, where this guy is positioned, these rocks, and this canyon wall right here. When discussing timing and movement exposure, we could see that the water is definitely moving very rapidly and was blurred due to a not very quick exposure time. And this man was possibly moving, but if he wasn't moving that much while the exposure was happening because he's very clear. And the action of the water was frozen, giving the water a blurred effect with streaking lines. And this kind of gives the effect of how fast the water was actually moving. As far as the rest of the scene, the rocks, the man, the boat, this is definitely still time. And the water, I would have to say, kind of gives an extrusive time if that's possible. The blurred water actually gives more sharpness to the surrounding picture. The boat, the man, the rocks and the dirt and the canyon walls itself. The sharpness of the photo is throughout the whole picture. Everything in the picture besides the blurred water due to the exposure time is very sharp. So there's an emphasis on the entire photo from front all the way to this canyon wall in the background. Also, the composition of how everything is positioned in the photo from the ground, which we see right before us, the man a little bit later, the water and the canyon walls, like kind of getting smaller as we go back, gives the photo a lot of depth and dimension. It's pretty much a three-dimensional scene that we get from the depth that was created by where the photo was taken. The visual focal point is definitely the foreground right here and the man, giving that they are very, very well lit and stand out a lot more due to that fact. And also, given the fact that it's the only human and man-made thing in the photo, they very much stand out more than anything else and become the focal point. Your attention is definitely drawn to the man right away in the boat, given that even though the nature around him is majority of the picture.